Hello and welcome to Play Talk Repeat. This time, what we're not doing a video game book club. We're not doing a retrospective or a review. Well, we're sort of doing a bit of a review, but it's for every single game that we collectively have completed this year, which I think amounts to 74 games, which is pretty crazy. That in total, there's more completions. I think there's like 120 or something like that. But obviously, some of us have completed the same games. The aim of this video is, by the end of it, to have a wooden spoon of the year. So the game that we collectively agree is the worst game that we or someone of us has played. And then we move on to the game of the year. Now, something which you'll notice is that some of these games, well, most of these games, did not come out this year. We're doing something a bit different. We are just having it so that it's all the games that we have played. This is because, personally, I believe that games... it should be fast fashion. It should be evergreen. Even if a game's old, it should be considered for game of the year, for us anyway. Maybe not for Jeff, but here we are.
Twilight Princess every year.
What? Sorry?
Twilight Princess every year, game of the year. That's the way it should be.
Well, the fact that you bring that up. So this year we are including replays, so people who have games that have been replayed by the same person. But from next year going on, if it's a replay of a game which has been in a previous PTR rank, everything, I don't know what this game's going to be called, then it won't be included, so we don't have the same games coming up again and again and again. Okay. So yeah, before we get on to the wooden spoon nominees, we'll go through them quickly. The way this is going to work is that there are 8 games, and we are going to be randomly selecting 2 to go up against each other, and we're going to keep doing that until we have 2 in the final, and then whoever gets the most votes out of us for the worst game will be deemed the worst game of the year.
Have you mentioned how you came up with the current rankings?
I have not. So the way we've done this is everyone here, apart from Lewis, but I might be able to get his rankings, his ratings from either our recordings or from asking him, has a how long to beat profile, which actually should be linked in the description. And we rate the games on there. And so what I've done is I put all those ratings into a spreadsheet, averaged them out, and then also done a little adjustment. So if, for example, all 4 of us have played the game, then there's no minus points. But if like 3 of us have played the game, that's -5. 2 of us haven't played the game, -10. 3 of us is -15. Just so we don't have Oliver giving everything 100 out of 100 or 10 out of 10, and then that's just all of the goaties. I'm pretty sure you gave 4 10 out of 10s this year, Oliver.
Yeah, because there were 10 out of 10s. I don't know what you want me to say.
Well, 4 perfect games.
4 perfect, yeah. There's literally nothing wrong with them. But yeah, so we won't be showing it on the screen because I've run out of screens, but Oliver on another screen has a wheel. So we're going to be randomly selecting the 4 the games for the voting for the wooden spoon. So what we have up for this is we have Klonoa, which Oliver played on the Secret Santa video game book club. We have Journey, which only I played this year, but I think all of us have played. I played that earlier in the year. Click Holding, which again only I've played. I don't think anybody else has played it. Gree, which I'm sure Oliver probably disagrees. That's in the wooden spoon. Scrap Garden, which probably no one's ever heard of. We have Silent Hill, that free-to-play game which came out. When did that? Was that after the Summer Games Fest?
That's what that is. I never played it because you guys said it was the worst.
Yeah, I downloaded it, and then you guys was like, "This is fucking awful," and I was like, "All right, I'm not gonna play it then," and then I deleted it.
Yeah, it weren't great. And then we have the Good Time Garden, which was the game made by the developers who made Thank Goodness You're Here. It was their first game. And yeah, not the best. And then Sonic Adventure 2, which we have all played, and we played it for a retrospective, and none of us liked. That is the only game in this bottom tier that all 4 of us have played, and is still rated incredibly low, because like obviously the other ones have those minus adjustments on them.
Yeah,
but yeah.
So 5 out of these 8, it's only you who've played this year, isn't it?
I believe so, yeah, because I rate games.
Which to me says maybe you're too critical when you're rating your games now.
Either that, I just play shit games as well.
Maybe, yeah.
I think that's what it is, Niall.
All right. So
Yeah.
how many names you want out of this wheel?
I'm gonna.
So-
2, please.
2. Okay.
Yeah, and just get rid of them once they've been selected.
All right. Okay. This is not the fastest wheel in the world. So we got so slow. Click holding.
Click Olden.
Okay. Click holding. And then you want me to remove that from the wheel, I assume.
Yes.
Okay. And then we have. Oh my God! Please hurry up. Good Time Garden.
Okay. Right. Do you want to speak about Good Time Garden, Oliver? As you've
Okay, yeah, I like Good Time Garden. I'm very surprised to see it in the Wooden Spoon nominees. It's only very short. It's only obviously a very experimental game, but it was very inoffensive in my mind. I've never played Click Holding, so I couldn't really compare it to it.
Yeah, it's similar to Thank Goodness You're Here in terms of structure, and you do like little environmental puzzles and like objectives to get through to different areas. And it's just a really bizarre game. Like you can see its DNA in Thank Goodness You're Here a little bit. Like when you get specifically when you go inside the meat from the butcher. It was very similar there. But to describe what click holding is, before we were recording, Lewis said, I thought I said cook holding, and that's pretty much what the game is. So you enter a room. In the pretense that once you leave the room, you will have a certain amount of money that you need for a medical treatment, I believe, or you just need the money anyway. And there's a guy with a sack on his head sitting there, and he passes you like a clicker. So you click it, and the number goes up, and you have to sit there and click it in front of him while he watches you, and he gets very, very into the fact that you are clicking this thing, and. I won't spoil the ending, but it gets pretty insane. The reason why I put it so low is because I think it's an incredibly weird idea, and it actually has a lot of potential to be quite interesting, but just none of that potential was really realized. It did boil down to me essentially just clicking my mouse. I think I had to do it 10,000 times for the game to end.
How long did it take you to complete that?
I think around an hour of clicking.
Jesus Christ.
I didn't check the how long to beat time or anything like that. I just saw that like another YouTuber talked about it, and I thought, oh, that sounds weird, and it was like £1, so I thought I'd give it a go.
Game Grumps have played it, so I was just having a skim through their video, and they clicked it 10,000 times.
Yeah, there you go. So for my vote, I would vote click holding to be worse than the Good Time Garden. Personally.
Oh yeah, seconded.
What about you two?
I have no opinion because I've not played either of them. So
I can't believe
I assume I'd probably enjoy the Good Time Garden more because that just seems like cookie clicker for cook holding.
Okay,
and
so you're voting for cook holding. Click holding.
Yeah,
as worse. And then Lewis, what are you voting for? Even though it's decided.
I'll give it to Good Time Garden, why not?
Okay. Oh, there we go. So there we go. Click holding is through to the next round for the worst game. I'm sure it's not happy about that. But now picking our next two, Oliver, to the wheel.
Okay, so first is Silent Hill. What's the subtitle, Ryan?
The what memories?
The memories, I don't know.
The memories.
The bad memories.
I think it's the lost memories.
The lost memories.
Okay, so it's that, and it is
the short message.
It's a short message.
There we go.
And Sonic. No, wait.
Oh,
Sonic Adventure 2.
Oh,
all right, yeah. So Sonic Adventure 2.
Sonic Adventure 2.
Yeah,
like, it's fucking dog shit.
I
don't know, you know.
I disagree. Silent Hill.
I've not played Silent Hill the short message, but it seems less offensive to me than Sonic Adventure 2 was.
I feel like if you played it, right? So let me describe it to you. So basically, playing this horror game, which isn't particularly scary, isn't particularly interesting, but the entire time pounds you over your head with over your head with just this over the hedge banging movie. Great. With this terrible story, really. I don't think it's particularly good, and I think what's offensive about it the most is that it's a sensitive subject which I think is about depression and shit, right? I think.
Yeah, something like that.
But it's just handled awfully with this like, it's kind of like, how to describe it? If the Life is Strange writers were like 10 to, have you seen the new Christmas movie with what's his face, Jack Black, the deer
I have not.
Santa?
Yeah.
Yeah, Santa.
Right. Well, if you did that,
It's Satan, isn't it?
yeah. Well, that movie
Yeah.
is beyond the worst thing I've ever seen, and
It
it has the
wasn't
same. It has the same writing in Silent Hill. It's got terrible writing and the subject matter which needed more care. That's why I think it's worse than
Oh.
Sonic.
You only have to play Silent Hill for an hour. You have to play Sonic
That is
Adventure
true.
2 for like 14. So I don't know.
Yeah.
That's
I'd
Also,
argue
you don't
that
need
fact-
mods to make it like work.
I'd
And it
argue,
doesn't have a terrible fan base.
like, I'd argue, yes, Silent Hill might be really bad, but I'd also say it is. Well, is it a demo or is it an experience? What is it?
It's a
is
game.
Is it a
Yeah.
fully, is it
Yeah.
like what? Right, okay, but like, I'd argue at least the pain is over quick with Silent Hill. Sonic Adventure 2, you have to sit there bashing your head against the wall for at least 10 hours minimum. And I feel like that should factor into the experience, regardless of how bad Silent Hill 2 is. Oh, sorry, Silent Hill
The short message.
The
Yeah.
short message.
is. Because I don't disagree that it's probably bad. Like I said, you put me off it so much from even wanting to play it because you two both said it was that bad.
I didn't finish it.
I just didn't even justify it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely feel like that's a factor. And I feel like we're underestimating how much we all slagged off Sonic literally like a week ago. Or a couple weeks ago at this point.
Dude, that was like 3 weeks ago at this point.
Like, I'm standing my ground, basically because I've already played it, but also just because I truly believe Sonic Adventure 2 was one of the worst games I've ever played, so...
To be fair, I think I agree.
Yeah.
You just wanted the argument.
Yeah.
A lot of my issues between like they're both very similar. The reasons why I hate them, like what you were mentioning before with the acting, now the voice acting in both these games is terrible. It's really, really bad. It's a Silent Hill slightly more offensive on that terms because, like you say, it's a serious subject. You expect bad voice acting,
And it's also a modern game.
Yeah, the funny little hedgehog. It's funny little hedgehog. You know what I mean? But it's this was. But how long ago did Silent Hill come out? I don't know if I'm just misremembering.
I swear it was
It
Came out
last year.
February, and I'll beat it on February 24th.
Oh shit.
February.
There we go.
Right. So, yeah. So I mean, maybe it's just it's like that long ago where I've healed slightly. But yeah, no, I agree. Sonic Adventure.
Cool. So we're all voting Sonic Adventure as worse.
Yes.
Amen.
Okay, cool. All right, that is in the next round. What we'll do is we'll keep the bracket, so those two will be facing each other, Click Holding and Sonic Adventure 2 in the next round. Anyway, back to the
Okay.
wheel.
So we've got Journey.
Okay.
Oh,
I was really hoping it wouldn't be this. It's great.
Oh.
Journey
right.
and
Well,
Gray.
I've not played. I've not played Grey, so I can't comment. But
Oh,
Journey's
this-
fucking boring.
I haven't played Griever, but I completely disagree about Journey, and I feel like it's tainted just by the fact of when you played the game. Like, I don't like... I understand people not liking Journey. It's completely valid and fair, but I feel like... the experience of Journey only gets worse as time goes on, and at this point it probably literally is unplayable, but that saddens me because the experience itself, at least originally, was very good. And I don't know if there's any real way to rectify that in the modern age, unless they... I don't know what they could do to possibly rectify it, but I don't know. I think Journey does what it wants to do well. But I also just understand if people don't really like that type of game or style of game. But I feel like Journey's incredibly inoffensive, to be honest.
I think it was very offensive to my time. I thought it was incredibly boring. I understand. That's the thing. Like, it has it's sort of like saved itself a bit from like people not playing it because it has AI, which is supposed to, I assume, function in a similar way. To like other players playing it. Like, what's the feature that is made worse because players aren't playing it?
The whole point of Journey was you are paired with players that originally you don't know that they're other players until like
you find out later.
You're supposed to play as like when it first came out, and you find out later all the players that you played with, but you can't speak to them or anything. You can only communicate in little blips and blobs, and you help each other get do the journey essentially.
Yeah. Well, I
And
mean,
at the time, it was a very magical thing.
that might be why it didn't hit for me as much. Well, it is obviously like a defining factor, because for me, it felt like there was just a lot of missed opportunities for me to feel something for this journey. Like, I just literally didn't really care at all. Like, I cared more about the journey climbing up the mountain in Jason than I did.
Oh, Niall, shut up! You can't say that.
That's not true either.
All right, I'm going to say my piece here, because I don't think either of these games should be a wooden spoon, because neither one of them are bad games. That's all. This is absolutely fucking ridiculous.
Three is an insane one. I haven't played it, but I know everyone loves that game. So
It's just an inoffensive side scroller. It's artsy faster, and it's just like a nice little platform thing. There's literally nothing wrong with it.
I didn't like it. Well,
it might be slightly. You could call it slightly boring, maybe, but that's if you going into the game knowing exactly what it is from like trailers and stuff like that.
I liked Green more than Journey, but my main problem with Green was just that it was difficult to navigate and it was a bit frustrating. And because I was the only one that played it and got the rating. That's the rating it got for the year. I would vote for Journey out of these two, personally, as worse.
I don't fucking know, man. Like, I don't. Oh, this is so frustrating.
I'm just gonna get it out of the way. I'm gonna say Gree, but I haven't played it. But I only have my memories of Journey to go off of, so I'm gonna vote Gree as being worse, just for that reason.
But yeah, I vote for Journey because it's fucking dog shit. I don't like it.
Right,
it's my board.
In this absolute injustice that's happening there, I refuse to be a deciding vote, so I'm going to let this go back to the spreadsheet.
Thank you.
Okay. I'm going to vote for Gree, because neither one of them deserve to be here.
You're going to vote for Gree?
I'm going to vote for Gree.
You know what? I'll vote for Gree.
What the fuck?
I thought you'd already voted for Journey. Oh, right.
I could change it.
No, you do.
Yeah, I'll vote for Gree. Like, I feel like Oliver's and Lewis's experience of the game is something to be considered, because obviously it was probably a better experience when it first came out.
It was really sick when it came out. It was like a really big point of it. It was a really big topic when it came out.
Yeah. It was mad too. I remember playing it and I loved it. And when you realise at the end that the journey is life, you know?
It's literally the friends you made along the way, basically.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Right, so the final two left is Klonoa and Scrap Garden. And I'll start with Scrap Garden because no one's heard of it. Basically, I picked this up as a, you know, the Yogscast Jingle Jam group of games that they do every year. I picked this up in 2014, I believe. It's just like a big pile of games, and I never played it. And then I was just going through my Steam Deck earlier this year, and I was like, "What's this game?" And so I played, and it is evidently some just random guy just making a terrible game, which is a collectathon.
It looks awful.
Yes, it is a proper 2014 or even earlier indie game. You collect like little gems which are floating about. You have terrible controls. The camera's awful. Everything looks bad, but it has heart to it. It has heart and soul. And literally, if this was executed better, obviously if it executed better, it'd be a higher rating. But the entire reason for it being down here is purely just because of the execution. Like, you can't look past the quality of it. But I didn't hate my time with Scrap Garden, personally. It was fun. Do you think Klonoa was fun, Oliver?
No. No, it was alright. It wasn't absolutely terrible. Like, the more distance I get from it, the more appreciation I've got for it. But I'm sure if I played it again, I'd still hate it all the same. It's just, it broke a lot of the rules of what a platformer should be. And I think what did I describe it as? It was like a Kirby game, but a lot worse, essentially. Like it's a very, very easy platformer, but somehow it still manages to be frustrating. Yeah, I didn't enjoy it all that much. I can't speak for Scrap Garden, but yeah, I'll vote for Klonoa.
I'm voting for Klonoa as well. I think Klonoa probably didn't have as much heart as Scrap Garden.
No, it did not. It did not. from what I'm seeing anyway from this YouTube video.
That's an
Yeah, I'm watching this long play. You just look like you just a happy little bin running around.
Yeah, legit, and
it
it's
looks
about
fun.
like saving robots or some shit, and it's yeah,
I don't know why I get the vibes of the film 9.
yeah. I think that's probably what inspired it. I'd be surprised if it didn't. Got a similar
Isn't
vibe.
that-
Alex,
I'll vote for
I
Cloud.
haven't seen. What the fuck?
It's not
What?
about bins.
No, it's
9.
a similar aesthetic though.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Klonoa's decided, but Lewis, what's your vote?
I'll just vote Klonoa to make it easier for everyone.
Cool. Everyone hates Klonoa. Good.
Voting for his own Secret Santa gift.
You're right. Okay. So in the semi-finals, we have Click Holding versus Sonic Adventure 2. I didn't hate Sonic as much as you guys. I think Click Holding was a worse experience in terms of my time, but I assume the argument's going to come up again that this is an hour game and Sonic Adventure 2 was 14 hours.
I feel like that's
Yeah, I think
valid
I'd rather
argument.
click my mouse at that 10,000 times than play Sonic Adventure 2.
I
Yeah.
feel you went into Click Holding knowing exactly what you were getting into there, Niall. You knew you were clicking the mouse. It's
Yeah.
right there in the name. I went into Sonic Adventure 2.
Yeah, Sonic Adventure
to
2, I
go
was
fast.
lied to.
You
I
know
was
what I mean?
also lied to. I was told that it was a good game. I
Yeah,
went in
everyone-
with the
yeah.
expectations that it was gonna be incredible. And it
But if I
wasn't.
play Click Holding now, I know I'd be clicking my mouse 10,000 times for an hour. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And I'd be fine with that. Sonic Adventure 2.
Cool. I think we're all voting, apart from me, voting
Yeah.
Sonic Adventure 2, so we'll put that straight
Yep.
into the final. And then we have Gree versus Klonoa.
Klonoa.
yeah, just Klonoa.
I would say Klonoa as well.
I have no opinion because I've not played.
Well, it's Klonoa, Alex. That's what it
Okay.
is. It's just,
Yeah, I thought so.
As we probably all predicted, I thought Silent Hill might have made more of a journey through this.
it was just badly matched up. I
Yeah.
think.
It was.
So we have Sonic Adventure 2 versus Klonoa. What do we think?
Right, Oliver, you're the man who's played both this year,
That's
so
actually true, actually, yeah.
It's gotta be.
let's give.
Sonic Adventures. It's just gotta be. Klonoa, I didn't want to. At no point during Klonoa did I think I'm going to go back to the guys and say I don't want to play this. You know what I mean? I was completing all the way through to the end, but Sonic Adventure 2, I genuinely did not want to continue.
I mean, it almost broke PTR up again. So.
Yeah, legit.
It did.
Right. So
Sorry, guys.
I think that's it. Sonic Adventure 2 is deemed the wooden spoon of the year.
Bad. Worst game of the year.
There we go.
Amen.
Who saw that coming? Right. Okay.
I mean, to be fair, if
Hold
Lucky
on.
Squire was in the wooden spoon thing, I genuinely would have think it would have been like a competitor.
Yeah, it would have
Like,
been.
I
I think it
I
would have been the
just want to
second one.
say, yeah, this D rank here, like, so Plucky Squire, because Alex is bad, he ranked it really high, so it didn't get put in the wooden spoon nominees. But that game was incredibly disappointing and mediocre in every single way, and I wish it was in the spoon because it would have fought for sure. It would have maybe reached top 2.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think next time we do this, we should do the voting.
Yeah.
To add into the wooden spoon, definitely, just to pull all the ones out that people have ranked wrong.
Speaking of which, we now get on to the nominations for which 4 other games should join the 12 games which are currently in S tier, which are again decided by the average ranking of everyone who's played them this year. In fact,
Can I go first just to get the easy one out of
do
the way?
a wheel. Do a
I
wheel.
was gonna say do the wheel.
Do the wheel.
Do the wheel. All right,
Yeah.
okay. So Oliver.
If one of you 3 gets
Oliver.
chosen, you have to choose another one.
Yeah, that's the reason why I told you to pick 3 is so that you have a backup one without getting stuck.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's
Wait, so we're only picking one.
That
Only
makes
picking
way
one.
more sense.
Oliver, it's
Okay.
me.
No.
I can send a screenshot if you wish, just to prove
brilliant.
it. Well, all right, so the Stick Astros player. Wait, no. Yeah, no. Sticker Astros. No. Wait a minute, I got confused there.
okay.
Wait, Astro Bot is already in there.
Yeah.
Astrobot's already in
Yeah,
there, right?
Astrobot's
Ignore
already in
me.
there.
Stick, thank goodness you're here in the top, please.
Okay,
Oh,
I'm glad you
right,
picked that
good.
one because I was gonna pick it.
It's in A. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Right. Who's
Right.
next?
No, yeah, I got confused. I thought Astro's Playroom was Astrobot there. Alex is next.
Me.
Oh, it's picking
Yeah.
Sly Cooper. Isn't he? Bastard. He's already got
I mean,
Spyro. in there.
could. Spyro's already in there. Oh, fuck, me three are still there, so. Right, shove. Yeah, shove Sly 2 in there.
Yeah.
That was this one. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, who's next?
Niall, it's you.
Right, Lewis. Are you gonna pick Alan Wake 2?
It was one of them, but I have another one that's a spicier take, I guess, than Alan Wake 2, if you'd want to choose it.
But I want to choose something else which you're not going to pick. But
Okay.
I need you to pick Alan Wake 2. If I
Yeah,
do
no,
that.
well, that's the thing, guys. I also need it to be in the answers. I mean, okay, right, so, yeah, I'll do it if you don't do it. If you want to choose a
Okay.
different one, I'll choose Alan Wake.
I'm choosing Tiny Terry's Turbo Trip. Needs to be
What?
in contender. In contention. 100%.
Hell yeah. I get that.
Right. I was waiting for Oliver to move it then for some reason.
Oh, yeah, nah.
No, yeah, Alan Wake 2, for sure.
Cool.
What was the other game, Lewis?
Sifu.
Right. Do you need all these games in a wheel now?
Yes, please. Yeah,
okay.
Sifu got fucked by me. That was my fault. That one. Yeah, I gave it the 3.5.
Yeah, I would have happily said Sifu was one of my favorite games I played last year, like easily.
Yeah.
That's Rebirth, that, isn't it?
We're both Final
both of them
Fantasy
are
now. Yeah.
I can't see the set. Oh, there it is. All right, okay.
Remake and Rebirth.
So I'll go for Last of Us. Is that part 1 or part 2?
Both of
Both
them
of them
are
are there.
Oh, they're both in there.
Oh wait, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sad that Control's not in there, but I thought Oliver would have fought more for Resi 4.
It was up there, but I'd really like Thank Goodness You.
No, so I'm glad it was like literally. If you didn't pick that, I would have picked that over Tiny Terry's Turbo Trip. So Tiny Terry's was my third, really. But
I'm assuming that's Spyro 2 that's on there.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yeah, I try getting good images for all of them, but some of them are bad. Like this is
Zelda.
yeah, Zelda, yeah.
Zelda, yeah.
Nearly
Oh
done.
wait! Final Fantasy 16's in C tier.
It is,
I
yeah.
think.
I was the only one that played it this year.
Oh, we played it
Last year.
2023.
Yeah,
Oh, was it 2023?
Yeah.
I gave it I gave it a 7.5 out of 10, but it got a minus 15 because I was the only one that played it.
What the
Right.
fuck?
We've got Last of Us Part 1, and we have got...
Last of Us Part 2.
Eventually. Arkham Knight.
Oh, that's tricky.
Right, so I'll say my piece on how I feel about The Last of Us. I think The Last of Us is not a fun game. It's very boring. I don't think the controls are very good. I think it's very hyped up by the story, which isn't even that good. And people just need to get their head out of their asses, and it's not a good game.
Okay. Can I give my rebuttal?
Yeah, absolutely.
So Alex is just wrong. It's fundamentally wrong.
completely.
It just completely. I've never known anyone be more wrong about anything. The Last of Us story is one of the best stories ever told, in my opinion. It makes you care for the characters so much. The gameplay isn't perfect. I'm not going to sit here and say the gameplay is perfect because it isn't, but it's in no way offensive. I don't think.
No, yeah, I think it's a great vehicle to tell the story. That's what it is. It's a kind of a walking sim with extra steps. But what it is good at especially if you play it on hard. You do genuinely feel like you are a survivor, scrounging for everything, even on normal. I think the resource balancing is managed quite well. The problem is I also really, really like Arkham Knight too. It was actually one of the first games that I ever beat to credits. Was Arkham Knight.
Last of Us for me, my opinion isn't like Alex's where I hate it. But I didn't ever beat it because I was playing it and I played it on the hardest mode, at least what was available. And I don't think the gameplay is particularly good. I really was enjoying the story aspect of it, but the actual gameplay I thought was kind of just mediocre. But that combined with the difficulty, I just wasn't having a good time, so I dropped it. I do intend to go back at some point, and especially play the remake or remaster.
Remaster.
Because they gave it away for free on Last of Us Day or whatever last year, so I do have it. And I'm assuming it'll be a better experience that way. But Arkham Knight is also really, really good. Arkham Knight is the best. I know some people prefer Arkham Asylum. I still think Arkham Knight is the best of all the games. It's the most like well-rounded game. It has the best story in my opinion, and it also just has the best gameplay and set mechanics.
Do you remember when like Joker was on screen and then he turned around, he turned back, and you were gone? That's pretty crazy.
I remember everything about that game. I remember that game being genuinely just like full of twists and turns and enjoyable the entire way through. And I mean, it's what makes me yearn for a new Batman game. It's because Arkham Knight, they gave me Arkham Knight, and then it's just been dead ever since.
Yeah, I remember when it came out, people weren't super stoked on it. I remember.
No, well, the big issue is with Arkham Knight is the big addition to it was the Batmobile, and the Batmobile sections are arguably the worst part of the game.
Yeah,
they're the worst, but I never thought they were bad though. I definitely understand that it's the worst part of the game for sure.
The Batmobile tank.
I thought it controlled fine enough that it was never an issue, and I don't think they were too in your face. I don't think it made you use the Batmobile too often and too much that it was ever something that I was getting annoyed about.
Well, I mean, did you 100% it?
Yes, it was one of the first games I ever 100%ed.
Yeah, it's those sections where you're taking down loads of tanks at the same time. It just gets samey and boring. The actual driving in the Batmobile, like the Riddler driving missions, are so good. Like it handles so well, like exactly how you'd expect it to handle. It is difficult. This one, it is real difficult.
I don't know. I'm going to vote Batman, but I understand and I want to believe that The Last of Us is a truly 10 out of 10 experience. I feel like it is. If I just give it the time of day and properly play it,
play it on hard.
Not play it on hard.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna vote Batman for that reason because I have 100% of that completed it. I know how good it is, and it's just a great time.
Yeah, I'll go off for that as well. I've 100% completed Arkham Knight. I've not Last of Us, so I must have had a better time with it. So I'm gonna go.
I'm voting Last of Us, and Alex, I'll trust you to do the same.
I don't think you will.
As much as I was a big baby about Arkham Asylum, I am interested in playing the other Batman games.
Oh yeah,
I feel like they will get better.
Alex didn't play Arkham Knight.
I have not. I played Arkham Asylum, but apparently you guys just say that they just get better and better. So I'm just going to say Arkham Knight.
Arkham Asylum is my favorite. So
they do get better though. All really wrong. But yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So Batman...
I feel like I was too harsh when I played Arkham Asylum because I think I was just being a big baby.
Fair
Next
enough.
ones are Celeste and Super Mario RPG.
Oh, okay. Celeste. For sure.
Yeah.
When I said, oh, okay, I was coming down because I was convinced for some reason you were gonna say Astrobot, and I was getting ready to fight. But we'll just save that for later, I suppose.
For me, for this one, I cannot remember why I gave it a 10 out of 10. The reason it's in here is because of my rating, and I have no idea why I gave it a perfect score because I don't even
Mario
like
RPG
it.
10 out of 10.
Yeah, I can't remember why. I must have really enjoyed it. I think it was
I'm
a
hoping
good.
I didn't misread now.
A good RPG. No, I remember looking at my scores a few days ago, and I was like, "Well, that's weird. Why have I done that?" But for this one, I'm just obviously just going to say Celeste.
Oh no, I played it last year. Yeah, I gave it a 7.5.
7 point. Why did I give it such a high score? Maybe it's just because it was a turn-based RPG that I actually liked.
Yeah, it's dead simple. The characters are fun. It's just a fun Mario RPG, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
Nice
But is Mario RPG better than any Paper Mario game?
No.
Because
it's better than some Paper Mario games.
I just don't count anything after Super Paper Mario.
I meant like the best Paper Mario game does it even compare to the best Paper Mario game, which would be the 1,000-Year Door, I'm assuming?
No, it doesn't because there's not that same kind of exploration or anything like that. There's no big world to explore. It's just very small kind of areas.
Right. Okay.
It's basically you're on one path throughout the entire game with like little bits to explore. That's basically Super Mario RPG. But in Paper Mario, you've got like a whole like areas to explore and stuff. Honestly, I would vote for Celeste as well. I feel like I know this is mental for me, but it's like one of the only 2D platformers that I've like thoroughly enjoyed.
Yeah, well, it's one of the best 2D platforms of all time versus one of the RPGs.
Yeah, I think I would have swapped Paper Mario and Mario RPG, like, you know, for Game of the Year nominees for me, but because Oliver gave it a 10 out of 10, that's probably why.
Yeah, he fucked it.
Yeah.
Celeste.
But if it was Paper Mario versus Celeste, I would have voted Paper Mario.
Oh,
well, good job it's not.
Yeah.
Good job with Celeste and with Mario RPG. Right, so Celeste through to the next round.
Yep. Red Dead Redemption 2 and Alan Wake 2.
Oh God.
Oh, Alan Wake 2.
Yeah.
No, like, yeah, because I never finished Red Dead, and Alan Wake 2 is one of the greatest games I've ever played. But I'm sure Red Dead would also be one of the greatest games I've ever played if I actually beat it. I'm gonna vote Alan Wake 2. I can't argue it at all. Alan Wake 2 is literally like peak fiction.
Oliver, try and convince him that Red Dead's best.
Right, Lewis. Right, I know you love Alan Wake 2. I know you do. Right, I know, but it's not all that. It's really not. The story is great. The atmosphere is great. The gameplay is just a bit fucking mid.
The gameplay is great. I went through the trenches. I appreciate what Alan Wake 2 did. Is good.
You come off straight off fucking Alan Wake 1, and you think, oh, this is amazing. Now, it's just slightly improved on the first.
It's not slightly. No. It's not slightly improved.
Red Dead Redemption 2. Jesus Christ, man, the size of that world, the amount of things to do, all the story missions are absolute bangers from start to finish. It's got heart, it's got the story, in my opinion. Alan Wake 2 story is great, but the story Red Dead Redemption 2 is better, in my opinion.
I mean, the thing is, I don't even disagree. Rockstar are cracked. Like, from what I played in that game, I get it. Like, I really do get it. I know it is probably the greatest to ever do it, and I don't even know why people don't talk about Red Dead 2. People still talk about GTA more. I don't know why people don't talk about Red Dead more, because it just seems like everything that GTA did, but just infinitely better, because Rockstar had way more time to cook, and it's a more recent game. And I truly believe that it is one of the greats, but Alan Wake 2 is also one of the best gaming experiences I've ever had, and it will take a lot for that to ever be beat. Maybe Alan Wake 3, that's probably one of the things that can be it.
Control 2, that's next year, isn't it?
Oh, Control 2, yeah, Control 2's got the possibility to be it as well. Yeah. And I also think as well, and it is cheating a bit, but Alan Wake is also part of a greater world, you see. And what that is doing is just that impressive.
I was under the impression we were rating games and not franchises.
His game is part of the same world. That's my fault. I didn't write the game.
Okay. Well, to answer your previous question, the reason people talk about GTA, not Red Dead Redemption, is because of GTA Online. That's literally the only reason. The issue is Red Dead Online is it's not fun.
I was going to say Red Dead had online, didn't it?
It did, but it's just not. The issue is, and this is kind of a spoiler for our bully review at some point, but what's so great about GTA, as well as that excellent story, as well as the excellent world, is that it is fun to move around the world. Right. And with Red Dead, that's just not really the case, and I think that's why people didn't stick to Red Dead Online, because just existing in the world isn't enough, kind of thing. Yeah. I'm going to give you my vote for this one. I vote Red Dead.
I vote Alan Wake 2.
What do you vote, Alex?
Alex can make his argument.
I've not played either of them.
Who made the better argument?
Oliver made a better argument.
Hell yeah, it does.
Right, Alex, let me set you down. Alan Wake...
right, one sec. Right, I'm sat.
Yeah, so picture a world where you play the best survival horror game you've ever played, with the best story, it looks the best, sounds the best, and they throw in a musical as well.
They do.
That sounds like Control.
Yeah, well, imagine Control, but like a lot better. Everything that you thought was bad about Control
is better than Control.
It is better than Control.
It's not better than Control. The gameplay is so much worse. It's so much worse.
It's just different. But everything every gripe you had with Control, which didn't give it 100%, that's fixed in Alan Wake 2. So therefore, you would give it 100% if you played it.
I'm not played it, so I can't.
You haven't played Red Dead?
I can't give an opinion. Exactly.
Red Dead.
I played Red Dead 1.
Did you like it?
I did.
Red Dead 2 is worse.
Oh, that's crazy.
Fundamentally not true.
I own Red Dead 2. I'm pretty sure I installed it and I maybe touched it on it a little bit, but I do not remember a single thing about the game. I remember there was some snow. That was about it.
That's like right at the start.
That
Like
is
the
the
very
beginning.
start. Yeah.
And arguably the worst part of the game.
Oh, classic. Yeah, my vote has to be Red Dead 2 because it's the only one that I've actually played.
I wouldn't count what you did in Red Dead 2 as counted as actually.
Yeah, but I've completed Red Dead 1, and that's basically.
You completed Control. That's basically.
That's not.
Yeah, and now he's comparing the two games that he's played in the universes because we're rating franchises, Lewis, not games.
Alex, if you vote for Alan Wake 2, whatever Sly is up against, I will vote for it.
Right. No, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Stop it.
I will.
Niall's seen the spreadsheet. He knows that Alan Wake 2 is going to fucking lose.
Well, I also know that it was an A tier before we nominated it, so I will vote for Sly 2 with whatever it's up against.
No, I have to vote Red Dead. I can't just be.
That's
swayed.
ridiculous.
Get the fuck rid of Alan Wake 2.
Yeah.
Just take it out the list now. So put it back in A tier. Shit.
Well, it's going there. I guess they've spoken. The wrong people have spoken. Right. So just to explain what happened there, tie breaks, if they cannot be broken, are decided by the score that was in the spreadsheet of our average scores. And because all of us only played it and gave it 100%, that won. So there we go.
Last of Us 2 against Final Fantasy Rebirth.
Oh, right. Just give it to Rebirth. Yeah.
No,
let's not do that.
Yeah, because right, first of all,
absolutely.
Lewis, everything that you have gripes with Last of Us Part 1 is fixed in Last of Us 2 because the gameplay is significantly better in every way.
I have heard that. I've heard the AI is masterclass in,
yes, it is.
in Last of Us 2.
But not only that, just the way you move around, the way you attack, like your weapons, scrounging, the story, I think, is at least on par with Last of Us 1. I know some people don't like it, but those people are baby bitches, so...
Yeah, it's still got people arguing now.
Yeah.
That's how...
It does. It really rattles.
That's how crazy it was.
Yeah.
I got mad bored. I got like 3 hours in and dropped it. I was like, this game is not for me. But Rebirth,
that's because it wasn't a little animal jumping about, collecting things.
Exactly.
Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, the issue is that it's one of the best RPGs I think that's ever been made and ever been put to console.
Amen.
Like everything it does is incredibly magical. And it makes a lot of other RPGs or JRPGs in general seem incredibly stiff and just boring. Because just the amount of accessibility you get in Rebirth, as well as constantly throwing in new things to do 24/7. Every time you go to a new region, there's a new thing to do, a new mechanic, a new mini game, just something to do. That I think is like just incredibly just magical, and I've not seen another RPG or JRPG recreate that. Obviously it makes sense with Rebirth because they put $7 trillion into it, so I get it. And it just enhanced and built upon everything that Remake was, and Remake I already thought was incredible. Like I thought Remake was like, I thought Remake couldn't be topped in terms of what it did, and then Rebirth turned around and literally topped like Remake feels ass in comparison to Rebirth now, which is really strange because like I said, I thought Remake felt incredible at the time. And I'm only expecting them to do that again with the third part of the trilogy. So I don't know. I don't think I can argue against Rebirth because it genuinely was. It was a unique experience I haven't had with another game for sure. It was just that good and that well made that I have to vote Rebirth. No matter what it's up against, I have to vote Rebirth.
That was a very well put and eloquent argument, that, Lewis.
Thank you.
I will counter by saying that Last of Us Part 2 is better.
It is
and
better.
therefore I vote for it.
Yeah. I also vote for Last of Us Part 2. I thought Rebirth, it was the exact same thing with Remake. I thought that there were some parts of both of those games where I'm like, wow, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen and experienced. But then just so much of the game is padding and boring and just like, you're just fucking going around. Like, that's the thing. They don't even try and hide the fact that they copy and paste enemy encounters 20, 30 times over just to make it slower for you to get to the next cutscene. which is the great parts about the game. The great parts about the game is how it looks, the soundtrack, the story, how it's all delivered, and like the environments and stuff like that. Like literally, the environments and the set pieces are like the best in any game, and probably will be until Part 3 comes out. But at the same time, it's like what I think it took me 25 hours to beat it. Most of that was just me waiting for the next bit of fun.
25 hours? I don't think so.
Yeah, I agree. So I've not played it.
Hours.
I've not played.
I did a lot, and I played it for 112 hours.
112, Jesus. I've not played Rebirth. I think I started it. I borrowed it off Alex and then gave it back to him a few months later after playing maybe an hour of it. But it's from what I've played of it, it was like exactly what Niall says. There's similar issues that I had with Remake, where there is just large parts of the game where it is kind of boring.
Yeah. Like the intrinsic gameplay isn't varied enough to make that variety with the same encounters. Like in a Persona game, or Metaphor, for example, every fight can feel different because of the JRPG combat mechanics in those games. But with Final Fantasy, that's just not the case. You're doing the same thing over and over. Like if I can, like I in Remake was better. The reason why Rebirth was better than Remake is because in Remake, it pretty much forced you to complete every enemy encounter before you could go through to the next bit, because those little like interactions to get through like a little cubby or like an alleyway were blocked unless you cleared all the enemies. In Rebirth, that wasn't as much of the case. I would spend most of the time just running past enemies, just so I didn't have to do the same thing over and over again. And you're telling me, Lewis, that that is a better experience than one of the greatest stories ever told, with the second part of it, Last of Us Part 2.
Gameplay's boring.
I mean, I'll give you that the Last of Us 2 at least looks nice. Rebirth looks like it's been smeared in Vaseline. Not anymore with the PS5 Pro, but playing that on the Beast PS5, it looks awful. That was genuinely the most negative experience about the game that I had. It's just that the game was not optimized or built. I think because it's to use some weird anti-aliasing, and it just made the game look like complete assholes. Last of Us 2, on the other hand, looks great, even on a base PS4. So I can give it that at least. Like, from a technical aspect, I think Last of Us 2 like smashed it out the park. And I genuinely think if I'd played Last of Us 2, I would be able to compete. And I feel bad that I can't try and justify a vote for The Last of Us 2 because I want to. I want to try and give a reason for why I would vote Last of Us 2, because I feel like there would genuinely be reasons there, but I can't. I have to vote Final Fantasy 7. I just have to. It just
that takes it to a tie now.
Alex, I will vote for.
No, you cannot make me.
He can't
pick
be
a boring game.
He hates
Last of Us 2 is mad boring. I can't play it. The gameplay is so boring.
Okay, well, according to the spreadsheet, then the winner by 2.5 measly points is Rebirth.
Oh.
So
Let's
that
go.
is cool.
I would have been happy to see either of them go for it. So I'm saying. I'm just a bystander.
Right, so we've got Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Okay. Oh, I put the wrong one there.
And Tiny Terry's Turbo Trip.
Right, okay. So first things first. I mean, I've got Oliver's vote because Oliver, this game is the reason why you completed so many games this year. You were in a rut. You weren't completing games. I said, Oliver, play Tiny Terry's Turbo Trip, and you did, and you were bloody off to the races. And if that isn't inspiring enough for you two, then I don't know what is.
I mean, I kind of want to just vote for it because I don't want Final Fantasy VII Remake and Rebirth to be in the to be able to compete with each other.
That's valid. Go with that.
So I think I might just vote Tiny Terry for just a bit of a what's the word?
Variety.
Yes, variety.
Yeah, but Niall, convince me to play Tiny Terry's Turbo Trip.
It's a collectathon.
What's it about? It's a collectathon?
Yeah, he's almost anthropomorphic.
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 Yeah, like he's pretty close to that. And honestly, the writing is incredible. The gameplay is pretty good. The game feels fine. It looks great for the style that it is. But honestly, just having a good time collecting shit. I hate collectathons. I love this
Final
game.
Fantasy VII has Sephiroth though.
That is very true.
Barely in remake.
Tiny Terra's Turbo Trip has Tiny Terry.
That is true.
I don't know if they're on the same caliber.
Oh yeah, so it's like in Tiny Terry, you're just a guy, you're just a chill guy, and you just want to go to the moon. That's what you want to do.
The entire goal.
That's all he wants to do. And he's got a car, and he's got to figure out how to get there. And at some point, he does crimes in a city with no laws.
He does crime.
Yeah, he does crime.
This looks like an Alex game. I'm not gonna lie.
Legit.
Man, he can drive it. Oh my god, he's got like a SpongeBob car.
Exactly.
Yep.
It is a great game, which is why I
I
nominated.
had more fun with Tiny Terry than I did remake. So Tiny Terry it is.
Tiny Terry.
I mean, I voted Tiny Terry just for variety.
Are you voting Tiny Terry, Alex?
I mean, I might actually play this. This actually looks pretty fun.
No, it is.
That sounds like an Alex vote to me.
Right. Okay. Tiny Terry.
Just for some variety.
In there with the big boys. Remake gone where it should be. Okay.
Next up is Thank Goodness You're Here.
Oh.
It's just lost whatever it's up against.
Well, it depends, doesn't it?
Why? Why is it lost?
It's up against Arkham Asylum.
Oh,
wait, Arkham.
Okay.
Oh, wait, we didn't do Arkham Asylum yet. Oh,
No, we did not. Difficult one, this one.
What's annoying is Alex was the one that voted down Thank Goodness You're Here. No, it wasn't. It was Lewis.
That was
actually.
me.
You gave us
It was
50%, didn't you?
yeah.
Yeah.
50?
He did.
Yeah.
Because he hates
remember that,
joy
no.
and fun. And
I know.
laughter.
I really enjoyed it. I just didn't like the gameplay aspect of it. I was bored, but I enjoyed the funny parts.
Yeah.
And don't say it was all funny because it was, but like you know what I mean.
It was very funny. You know what you are, Lewis? You're a small pie man. That's what you are.
No, I'm not.
Yeah. So yeah, thank goodness you're here. A great game. It's just sort of like a picturesque children's book where you're just running around solving people's problems, having a fun time, doing little puzzles, doing some platforming, and it's just completely surrounded by hilarious jokes based off Yorkshire towns. And Matt Berry, that's his last name.
Matt Berry.
Yeah, Matt Berry's in it, Lewis. You love him.
I do love Matt Berry.
Everyone likes Matt Berry.
Yeah, and it's just a fun
I've
time.
never
from
spoken
start
to a single person who doesn't like Matt Berry.
Yeah, no. Go on, Lewis. Batman. What do you think?
I mean,
it was Lewis's first choice for Video Game Book Club many years ago.
you have to announce,
3 years ago, to be fact. That's when we played it.
you have to announce now on video. Would if you had to choose one favorite voice actor, would it be Kevin Conroy, or would it be Matt Berry?
Matt Berry.
If Matt Berry voiced Batman, you know. Ooh.
Oh my god, imagine.
That would be good. Again, I feel like I might just go the variety excuse. I did enjoy, like despite giving it a 5, I did enjoy. Thank goodness you're here. Like I said, it was just more the gameplay aspect of it. Because I would have rather it just played for me, and I could have just watched it, and I would have much preferred it, and I didn't have to like do anything at all. Like I would have enjoyed it way more. We already have Arkham Knight, which is just the better Batman game. I know some people prefer the setting of. I get why people like Arkham more, or why some people like Arkham more. Arkham Asylum. Because it knows what it's doing. It's set in a very distinct place. Everything works because it's such a contained space. And I do appreciate that about it. But I think, again, just for the sake of variety and just because I think Arkham Knight is a better game anyway, I'll vote for Thank Goodness You're Here.
Let me talk to you.
Okay.
Right. I think we need to remember what Arkham Asylum did.
I know what it did.
What it did. What it achieved.
Arkham Knight did it better.
Of course it did, because it's a sequel.
Of course it did. Don't act like Arkham City was better. I didn't like Arkham City more.
Well, Arkham City was better, right? So in terms of being completely objective, Arkham City was better than Arkham Asylum.
Yes.
and then Arkham Knight was better than Arkham City. That's just that is because, like you say, it built on it, iterated on it. But in my opinion, I've got a special place in my heart for Old Asylum because it was the first game that I ever 100%ed. It is the best superhero game that exists.
Arkham Knight exists.
And so
the series is the best. The best.
Oh, the series. Okay,
and it changed combat in these kind of games forever. Like how many games have picked up this exact thing for combat?
Oh no, yeah, everyone did steal it.
I can't vote against Asylum. I'm going to vote for Asylum.
I'm voting. Thank goodness you're here, Alex. What are you doing?
Right. So in my brain, I remember. I think I gave Arkham Asylum a 5 out of 10, and I think I gave Thank Goodness You're Here a 7. So in my head, I'm like, it's got to be Thank Goodness You're Here. Yeah, because I feel like I did have a better time with it and didn't overstay its welcome. I felt like Arkham Asylum, Batman felt like a car, from what I remember. Very clunky.
Wait till you play Arkham Knight.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, I am interested in playing the other Batman games, but I don't think that this is not a game of the year like contender in my eyes. I feel like it has to be Thank Goodness You're Here.
Cool. Thank goodness you're here. Batman's dead.
I know, yeah.
Oh, we're getting to
What would you do without me?
exactly right. Go on over.
I really hope there's two here that I don't want to be matched up against each other.
I hope it's just Spyro versus Sly.
Yeah, I want to do Spyro versus Sly. Yeah, 100%.
But then it's Space Marine versus Astrobot.
It's Spyro 2.
Yeah.
Versus Sly.
And it is Astrobot.
Okay.
Oh. I'm not just Astrobot.
Yeah, it's gotta be Astrobot.
Yeah. I love Spyro to
Yeah.
death. I do. I love Spyro to death. Astrobot, it's just Astrobot. It's just that good of a 3D platformer. I'm sorry, it just is. Like, if you made Astro into a little... And plus, Astro has Spyro in it, so, come on.
That is true.
What more do you want? Oliver's devastated.
Spyro 2.
It's the way it
Spyro
is.
2 is one of like the main reasons why I'm probably sat here right now.
Yeah.
Like genuinely, like it's been one of them games where I go back to it every single year because I love it to death. I just wish that it was like, I just wish everyone could feel how I feel about Spyro 2, just because of how cozy it makes me feel. Like the world, the music, it's just a nice time.
It's a great time.
It really is.
I tried playing
on the other
Spyro
hand,
1 and it was bad.
Incorrect. Alex, I feel very, very, very similar to Alex. The issue with Astrobot is it's just come out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I had a chance to go back to it every year and feel cozy with it. Every single Spyro 2 level, I know the soundtrack. I know where everything is. I know the exact layout of the level. It's just so good.
That's not Astro's fault.
It's not Astro's fault.
It's going to be like that with Astro in the future.
Maybe, but we don't know that. We don't know. I'm gonna have to vote. Spyro 2 is one of my favorite games of all time, man. I'm gonna have to vote Spyro 2.
Yeah, but think about this.
I'm with you, Oliver. Because even if these two vote for Astrobot, it's gonna win anyway.
Also, think about this: Spyro's dead. Wait. Sony erased him. He doesn't exist anymore. Astro.
But that's not Spyro 2's fault.
It's not Spyro's fault.
Astro reigns supreme, and we'll get many games from now on. Spyro.
And they made Spyro 2 in such a short time as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, but every game was made in a short time back in the day. They were all made in like 10 minutes.
I'm leaning towards Spyro 2, you know.
Oh my god!
Why?
Because I've realised that I thought Astrobot was a bit too big for its britches, and I don't want it to win Game of the Year.
It came out exactly a year after.
Jeff gave a Game of the Year. You can't give a Game of the Year.
I really wish this matchup hadn't happened because in my mind, Astrobot was one of the ones that is likely going to come out on top overall. But because I can't think of any other game on this list that I would put above Astrobot.
Yeah, it's going out right now.
I don't know what to tell you. Spyro 2 better, man.
It just isn't.
It's such a good time.
Take off your shitty shit-smeared goggles and look at the future. It's Astro. He's a robot. The dragon's dead. I've accepted the Jack and Daxter's dead. The dragon's dead. Accept it. We're living a tech future now. We're fucking robots.
Think Astrobot, Astrobot's got a future on it, you know.
Yes, exactly. Think of the experience.
It's keeping
victory now.
You're not getting any Spyro
alive. It's keeping platforming alive. They've taken a genre that was, kind of dying.
Without Astro, would be set back over 10 years of no 3D platformers ever again. We'd get a new Banjo-Kazooie from Microsoft in 2027.
But with Spyro,
and you don't want that.
If Spyro didn't exist, would Astrobot exist?
If Mario didn't exist, Spyro exists.
Exactly.
Like, I don't care about who didn't exist. I don't care about the butterfly effect. I care about the now. And the now is Astro, old man. It's Astro. Spyro's gone.
He's right.
He's gone. Think what your children are going to be playing. They're not going to be playing Spyro. They'll go, Dad, what the fuck
they will.
is this?
My kids were playing Spyro.
Dad, I'm leaving. I'm going. I'm not staying in this house.
There's the reignited trilogy, it's like it's modernized, but I understand what Lewis is saying. I get it, and fuck it, I'm changing to Astro.
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Right, so with that, it goes to the spreadsheet. And Astrobot wins by 15 points. So there we go.
Can I also clarify that I do really like Spyro too? I was just trying to.
It is a fantastic game.
Yeah, no, it's a great game. I really like Spyro.
Right, okay. And so now we're up to the final two, which is Space Marine 2 versus Sly 2. Space Marine, do we even need to bother?
We do not need to bother. No, it is Space Marine 2. That is the answer.
Yeah, because I haven't played, because I've only played Sly 1, and I know Niall and Oliver both play Space Marine 2.
I didn't complete it, but I'm like halfway through.
And I know Oliver loves Space Marine, so Alex is the only one who's even played Sly 2 to begin with. So it's kind of a difficult argument to make.
Just to cover my bases, so I'm a big 40k fan. I read a lot of books, I paint some models, play the games, but this game is the first time that the Space Marine 1 was fine, but it was a product of its time. Everything was very grey, everything was very blotchy, there wasn't a lot to look at kind of thing, but Space Marine 2 has improved on it so much, and you genuinely feel like you're in the world of 40k, and everything's all bright and colourful and lovely. It's just a good time.
Yeah,
and
you don't need to convince me. No. Alex, how are you going to convince us?
I don't think I am.
Okay,
but I will say that I didn't even play Sly 2 when I was younger. I only had the first one, so I played Sly 2 for the first time in like 2020, and I literally have just replayed it literally a week ago at this point. It's a fantastic experience. I think it builds on the first game so much, and it completely changes the gameplay style from the first one. So the first one's just like a normal collectathon, get to the end of the level, collect the little items within the level. But in this one, you do missions, and you have to plan a heist. So it's sort of like GTA-esque, and do a GTA heist or whatever. And you have to collect there's pieces of the enemy that so in the first game you beat the enemy, and then you split up his pieces, and then they get scattered across the world, and then someone's trying to get them, so you have to get them back, and you're planning the heists to get these pieces back in order to make sure that the big bad doesn't come back, essentially. But then the ending of the game builds on it so much, where I don't want to spoil it in case, because I actually do want to try and convince you guys to play it, because this is a Sucker Punch game, which is insane, because they've only released bangers. So they've released Ghost of Tsushima, all the infamous games, the Sly trilogy. The characters are amazing.
You say all the infamous games were bangers.
They are.
Second Son is not a banger.
I've only played Second Son and I enjoyed it.
I didn't finish Second Son and I really enjoyed it.
You should replay it. It's shit. But
anyway, yeah, Sucker Punch are really good. They built on this game really well, and it leads on to the third game, which is probably not as good as the second one, but it's one of the things where the second game just knocked out of the park.
Sucker
I know you
Punch
guys aren't going to vote for it, but I just wanted to say my piece.
Yeah.
I'd love for us all to play it and do a retrospective on it.
Is this
because
stealth?
I feel like, yes,
Is it a stealth
game?
Yeah, nah, it's shit. The Space Marine 2, let's go.
The Sucker Punch movie is bad. I will say that.
Yeah.
That is bad. Yeah, no, that is bad.
It's really bad.
Oh, right, okay. But yeah, Slide 2 is really good. But yeah, Space Marine's going to win because obviously you're all going to vote for it.
So there we
Shitty,
are.
artsy, fartsy fucking movie that, because all style and literally no substance at all.
It's just a Zack Snyder film. It's
Yeah.
really bad. I haven't even voted. It's not going to matter anyway, my vote, I don't think, because the ratings anyway. But also, I feel... This is one where I feel really bad voting for either of them, because I just genuinely don't really have any input. Because like I said, I played Sly 1, and I enjoyed Sly 1. But Space Marine 2 also did look really cool. I mean, you have a big chainsaw, so... I'll just vote for Space Marine 2, because it's going to win anyway, even regardless of ratings. So
After my 3-minute
I
play.
enjoyed it. It's just even if I voted for Sly 2, it would be based on nothing other than your word, and then you'd lose anyway. So
Are we keeping the current
We are
brackets?
keeping the current brackets. This is how it's going. So here we are. We have our final 8, which are Batman Arkham Knight, Celeste, Red Dead 2, Final Fantasy 7, Rebirth, Tiny Terry's Terrible Trip. Thank goodness you're here, which is going to be a interesting round. Yeah, Astro Bot and Space Marine 2. So we'll start off with Batman Arkham Knight versus Celeste.
Versus Celeste.
Yeah, Celeste.
Yeah,
For sure.
Celeste is a contained experience. Like I said, it's one of the best platforms I've ever played, if not the best platform I've ever played. And there's no flaws with it. There is flaws with Arkham Knight for me. So yeah, I think Celeste.
Yeah,
Celeste.
Yeah, I guess so. I've not played Batman, so I can't really comment.
There we go. Next up, Red Dead versus Rebirth.
This is going to cause some problems.
Yeah. What's your opinion, Oliver, on this?
I think Red Dead 2. There's a lot more there's a lot to do in both games, but Red Dead keeps more of that stuff interesting.
I have not played Red Dead 2, and I've had more fun listening to your description of the game than I did of playing Rebirth. So I'm going to say Red Dead as well.
Yeah.
Right. Oliver, traversing that massive world, right?
Yeah.
It can be mad boring though, can't it?
It's not. Well, it's not. I mean, there is a really good fast travel system.
Oh, is there actually?
There is.
I remember in the first one there wasn't. Or is there? I've not played it in years.
Yeah, no, it's there is a fast travel system. So if you do not like the thing is, it depends on what kind of mood you're in when you're playing it. Like if you're in a chill mood and you just want to just riding a horse across the landscape, man, it's pretty tranquil, you know.
You love horses, Alex. You're a posh boy who loves horses.
He does love horses.
Yeah.
I don't love horses.
Yeah, it's just in my opinion, it's a more. I haven't played Rebirth all the way through, like I say, but from what I played of that and what I played of Remake, Red Dead is a much better experience. It's a much better story. Again, I keep coming back to the story of this game. It is fantastic, all the way through.
Go on, Lewis.
No.
I can hear Lewis seizing in the background.
No, it's not because it's upsetting me. I know this is the point of the game. I know this is the point of what we're doing, but I'm finding it hard to argue against Red Dead 2 because I know it's really good, but like Red Dead 2, freaking Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth, sorry. It's just such a quality game through and through. And it was an experience playing it for the first time where I was like, I have not played a game similar to this, and the emotions that I'm feeling from this are like a one-of-a-kind unique thing. And just purely because of that, purely because of the magic that I felt and the excitement that I felt and how excited I am for the third game and just how well I think it's made and how a lot of other games feel like ass in comparison to Rebirth. I just have to vote Rebirth. It's just the go. It's the best Final Fantasy game. No, it's the best Final Fantasy game I've played.
Even
so
more so
far.
than 16?
it's what I was debating because I really liked 16, but I found myself in Rebirth. The thing is, 16's at least a contained story. If Rebirth isn't done yet, they could fumble it in the third act. It could be bad. It could be awful, which would obviously suck really hard. But until that happens, I'm just gonna say that Rebirth stays on top, and that Rebirth just is the king right now. I can't vote against it. It's just that good.
You're making me think.
It's open world.
No, don't think. I can
compare the two as well. They're both open world games. Like some of these games, it's a bit upsetting to vote against them because they're completely different genres. And yes, Red Dead 2 and Final Fantasy 7 again are different genres. They're completely different genres, but they are both at least similar in their aspect that they are both open world. There's obviously main story missions, side missions, collectibles, things to do in this open world, and just stuff like that. And I know Niall disagree, but I just think that Final Fantasy 7, with the variety, especially to me, it just does that very well. And I never got bored with the stuff that you could do. Do I think that some of the stuff got a bit tedious towards the end when I was grinding for the trophies and stuff? Yes, but I was putting that on myself. That wasn't a fault of the game necessarily. That was me going out of my way to make sure I did all this monotonous stuff, even though it's not required of you as a player.
I've got to let you guys in on the secret as well. These got the exact same score, despite having different adjustments. Yeah.
We're gonna have to come to a agreement then, aren't we?
I voted for Rebirth. I'm sorry. Rebirth. I have to stick with Rebirth. I have to back my boy. I can't.
You might have to go to the wheel though.
No, as Lewis was speaking, I do remember what I said at the beginning, where stuff in Rebirth. Some of the stuff is the best I've ever seen by far as well. Like the environments, the cinematics, the gameplay isn't the best. But I also haven't experienced Red Dead 2's gameplay either, so I might have to change my vote.
That's fine. You know, the more 2000. When did Rebirth come out?
2023.
Yeah, it came out last year. 24, yeah.
24, right, yeah. The more 24 games in this list, the happier I am, to be fair. So, that's fine.
Yeah, it came out on the 29th of Feb. So it came out in the leap year, didn't it?
Okay.
But yeah, Rebirth's just fantastic. I do want to play Red Dead 2. I just don't have a valid opinion for it, because obviously I've not played it. It's on my list to play.
Okay, Red Dead out. Rebirth in. Next up, this is the one I'm most interested about. Tiny Terry's Turbo Trip. Thank goodness you're here. It's very difficult for me. I thought both of the games were great. However, I think that in terms of our collective enjoyment, even though Lewis and Alex haven't played it, I think we kind of got to go with Tiny Terry's Turbo Trip.
I was gonna say I've got a straight vote for Tiny Terry just because I think as a game I would enjoy Tiny Terry more, even though I haven't played it. I think I would have more fun with it than I did. Thank goodness you're here. Just based on what Tiny Terry is, I think I would just enjoy it more. So I was gonna vote Tiny Terry.
They're both special indie games, definitely. Tiny Terry has just kind of got the edge because there's actual good gameplay with it.
Oh, yeah, it's supposed to be more of a game.
Yeah, Tiny Terry just looks like an Alex game all over.
I'm gonna throw in a big disagree here.
Oh,
disagree. I liked Tiny Terry. I did, and he did pull me out of a rut. That's very, very true. But if Thank Goodness You're Here came out around the time I was in that rut, then they would have done the exact same thing, because there's a short, contained adventure that was good all the way through. There wasn't a bit of it that I found boring. I laughed a lot more with Thank Goodness You're Here. It was very funny, and I believe it is a lot more polished of a game than Tiny Terry Turbo Trip is.
Yeah,
Tiny Terry has that hasn't got a big publisher behind it kind of vibe. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was just one guy.
Yeah, exactly. It's just one guy, and you can tell it is, because it's just not got that kind of polish. So I'm going to go with Thank Goodness You're Here.
Well, I've gone with Tiny Terry's Turbo Trip, and I assume you two have as well.
No,
I think I am going to go with Thank Goodness You're Here, because I did enjoy it. I've not played Tiny Terry, so I can't think it. I probably will enjoy it, but because I did enjoy Thank Goodness You're Here, and I really liked the humor, and it really because obviously it's near us, so
It's representing us. It's representing
us. So it's just a laugh all
have you
around.
ever not just sat down and thought, I want to go to the moon here? Is that not
honestly no? Because there's that lack of oxygen thing, and it's not made of cheese no matter what else I'm going to tell you.
That's true.
That's true. The capture did
Made
say
a rock.
that.
Just fuck all up there, man. Just waste of time, waste of money.
Literally, thank goodness you hear a Netflix series of like a couple of shorts, and I would have been all over it. I would have given it 10 out of 10.
This is interesting because both of these
I had to play it.
were nominations, so we don't actually know who's going to win.
Oh wait, yeah, they were, weren't they? Yeah, they both got brought up. How do we decide a coin flip?
Oh no, I can see the score. It's just we don't know for sure. So yeah, we're both sticking 2-2, right? Not switching.
Yeah.
Okay. So the winner is, I can't find Tiny Terror Cerebral Trip. Where's it gone?
Is that low down?
It's quite a bit lower. Wait, is it? Sorry, 1 second. Fill in air. Oh no, there it is. Yeah. Okay. So the winner is Thank Goodness You're Here. By about 10 points. So there we go.
Okay. It's not going to make it for the next round anyway, so it's fine.
No, exactly.
Those are route, isn't it? Yes, it's just these two left. Astrobot versus Space Marine.
Even for me, it's going to have to be Astrobot.
I mean, Astrobot won Game of the Year. It's kind of hard to argue.
Yeah, Astrobot is.
It's not won our Game of the Year yet, though.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Yeah, Space Marine 2 again was absolutely fantastic, and I loved every second of it. But I also loved every second of Astrobot, and I think Astrobot does more.
Does it though?
I
don't know if it does. That's the thing.
No?
As you well know, you've been starved of the external media that's good in Warhammer. You've been sat there reading your little books, imagining what it could be like being a Space Marine. Well, Space Marine 2 allowed you to live through it as a Space Marine.
That is true.
Yeah,
that is very true.
That's a special experience. You can jump around in any game that has a jump button.
Niall, come on, man. Did someone at Team Asobi hurt you?
No, I thought Astrobot was good. I just do not think it deserves the clout it's got. I think that is good. It should be one of the good games of the year. I don't think it should be Game of the Year. Definitely not.
Yeah, but I think you need to remember with Astro is think of the last top tier incredible 3D platformer that you played, and there just hasn't been one in quite a while.
Yeah, well, Super Mario Odyssey, and it was a long time ago.
Odyssey was significantly bad.
8 years ago now for Odyssey.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's ridiculous. That's absurd. 8 years ago is just nasty. I hate that.
But yeah, Space Marine 2 for me. And I think if you all had a brain, you'd vote for that as well.
I haven't played it, and Astrobot was one of the most phenomenal games of the year that I played.
Call me the Scarecrow from Wizard of Oz because I apparently do not have a brain.
Don't have a brain.
There we go.
Oh, right.
Astrobot, sorry.
Okay. So
you'd have to move it. It's already
gone. Right, so we're into the.
I've seen an inevitability here, isn't there? He's seeing the end and he's hating it.
I know. Right, okay, so now we're into our final four. We've got Celeste. We've got Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Thank Goodness You're Here, and Astrobot as well. Celeste, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Think no contest. Celeste.
It's gotta be for me. Celeste.
Yeah.
Well, no.
But it's gotta be for Lewis.
I'm interested to see what these two say, especially Lewis.
Yeah.
Go on then, Lewis.
We get to the point here where these are the best of it, or at least in Lewis's opinion, the best in their genre.
Well, yeah, this is because the thing is, you've got Celeste, which I think is the best 2D platform that exists, and then you've got Final Fantasy Rebirth, which is one of the best JRPGs made, but definitely like the best Final Fantasy game I've played. And then Astrobot's like one of the best 3D platformers I've ever played. So this is all just a bit fucky wucky in general.
It's a bit fucky
You gotta
wucky.
think of the gap, though. I mean, the Celeste got Alex to like a 2D platformer. I hate 2D platformers as well. And I love Celeste.
I'm thinking.
I hate JRPGs, but this did not make me like JRPGs.
No, well, I'm trying to think.
Yeah,
about
you just didn't play it.
I'm trying to think about the influence because Celeste has done a lot. Final Fantasy VII was always good. Final Fantasy VII was loved 25 years ago. It was loved now. Final Fantasy is eternal. Celeste came in, did what it needed to do, and did it perfect, and also just sort of changed the genre for the better. Well, not changed it because nothing else has really followed afterwards, but it tried to, and it sort of peaked to what it did. This might be a weird vote, I guess, but I'm gonna give it to Celeste. It's a contained experience and it's finished, and it truly is a 10 out of 10 experience for me. Final Fantasy VII is part of a trilogy that is yet to be finished, and just for that reason alone, I'm gonna give it to Celeste because Celeste is, like I said, it's a contained experience that does what it does perfectly, and it's just that good. It's just that good, and I don't really like 2D platformers. It's not one of those things where it's like I hate them, but I just wouldn't ever usually play a 2D platformer. But I would play Celeste a million times over.
That's why it was such a good video game book club game, because it was a great game and no three of us would have played it. So.
Yeah.
What are you implying about Guitaru, man?
It's spoilers.
Yeah,
Jesus.
it's anyway. So go on, Alex. We got 3 votes for Celeste.
I'm not going to vote for Celeste because I feel like in my head I'm never going to play Celeste again, probably. I did enjoy it when I played it, but I probably will play Final Fantasy VII Rebirth again, and I will enjoy my time with it because I'm probably going to do Remake, Rebirth, and then, I don't know, Retribution, whatever it's called.
That's
the third
crazy.
one.
You don't value your time.
People think it's going to be called a reunion.
What do you mean I don't value my time?
That's
I think
a lot of time.
I think it's a good time. I won't have to do everything again.
I don't have an issue with Alex's answer. Like, him choosing Final Fantasy VII is fair. Like, I think
what I'd expect him to pick. Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't hate the answer.
Like, there's nothing against Celeste. I did enjoy Celeste, but I'm fighting a losing battle here. Like, picking Final Fantasy VII, but I'm sticking to my guns.
Cool.
That's fine.
Right, second semi-finalists.
Astrobot.
Thank goodness you're here
Astrobot.
against Astrobot. I think you guys are silly gooses.
Right now, I'm sorry, but you cannot justify putting Thank Goodness You're Here above Astrobot. I'd like to hear you try.
It is literally just a really great time. That's the thing. Like Astrobot, you need to, guys, think for yourselves for a second and not listen to the bloody propaganda that's been spouted.
I listened to my own brain when I played.
I listened to my own brain when I played it, like, in 2 days when I beat the game. It was before anyone had even had chance to even speak about it because I couldn't put it down.
It is fun. It's not special. I don't.
You're wrong now.
I think it doesn't do anything.
I think it's like the most special thing about PlayStation showing off every single mascot that they've got.
Yeah. It's not even that. The fact that PlayStation made a new PlayStation mascot in 2024 is something spectacular, and like, I don't know how they did it. I don't have the slightest clue how they did it, but they did it. Astro is the face of PlayStation at the moment. He is, and that's insane that they were able to do that. No other company could do that, I don't think, and I don't even know how PlayStation did it.
Legit, like it's the 3D platformers. Like, the Nintendo have an iron grip on them. You know what I mean? Like, not many things can match up to Mario Odyssey these days, but it did it. You know what I mean? It's right there next to it as one of the best 3D platformers of all time.
You all love tiny pies. That's it. You're all tiny pie boys, and I'm not happy. But there we go.
I had a smile on my face when I was playing Thank Goodness You're Here, but I had a smile on my face all the way through Astrobot. All the way through.
Okay.
Every part of it was joy.
I think we need to take a second and sit down and think before we get into this bit. So the final is Celeste versus Astrobot. Okay? Celeste
Astrobot.
two titans of their genres.
Yes, exactly.
Both platformers, which just says platforming is the best genre of gaming.
What I'll say, I'll highlight what Lewis said before, in that I can't remember exactly what he said actually, but it was something to do with gaps between like games in the genre, like Celeste.
Oh, right.
Yes, like the gap between Celeste and the next good 2D platformer is like a gulf. Astrobot, it's not the best 3D platformer that's out there right now. Odyssey is better.
I agree. No, I agree. Yeah, I agree with that. I agree that Astrobot isn't the best in its genre of all time, for sure. I feel like Odyssey is the best Mario game and the best 3D platformer. And Celeste, on a technical level, at least to me, is the best 2D platformer. So that in its own right is to be valued. Because it's a bit weird to say something is the best and something else is just very, very good, and not hand it to the one that's the best.
But you like 3D platformers better than you like 2D platformers.
But I like 3D platformers is the issue. So I don't know. Some other people argue. Well, I think please.
We can break it down as well, because Astrobot, no story really. Not really.
Propaganda. This is propaganda. This is what he's doing there. He's propaganda us.
Celeste, a proper good, a really good deep story. Proper good and deep is Celeste. The movement mechanics so much better than Astrobot. The versatility, the depth, like you've played the game. Lewis has played the game to completion. There's probably a couple of hidden mechanics he hasn't found yet. You know.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? Like, and you love pixel art, you Oliver. That's one thing that I know about you is you bloody love it. And Astrobot don't really have that.
But Astrobot did some of the coolest things. It did that whole like rat level where you were tiny and everything was massive. The scale of that was just insane and incredibly cool. And I like when games do stuff like that because I think it's a very, very difficult thing to do. And especially match it to like the art style and the aesthetic of what.
Especially instantly as well.
Yeah,
instantly
like,
changing scale of everything.
I do agree that like in Astrobot there are power-ups and some of the stuff started to get a bit repetitive. Like I was hoping, because the game was as short as it was, it'd be more each level would be its own individual thing, and it did start to pull from stuff from earlier levels and put those in the later levels, which was a bit sad. But the stuff that it did do was really unique and really cool. So again, it's difficult.
I want to dispel something as well. People have been praising this game for introducing something and chucking it out. No one in the right mind would actually do that unless there's not enough depth to explore it further. These mechanics don't have it, like they introduce them maybe in 2 or 3 different levels. Each level plays broadly the same, which these mechanics are in, and that's because there's not enough depth. And the reason why they don't explore it for longer and longer, like level upon level, is because they've taken it to the limit within the first few parts of the areas of the level.
The argument falls on its ass when you realise Odyssey did the exact same thing. That's just how power-ups are dealt with.
No, but what I'm saying is, so the reason, so no, it doesn't fall on its ass because, like, so let me put it this way. So Mario Odyssey, if you look at its controls and its move list, it'll be like 20 items long of different combinations of things that you can do, whilst Astrobot is 2 or 3, and those power-ups add to that list, and then take it away. But they'll never get close to what Mario Odyssey has. Mario Odyssey doesn't need those power-ups to carry levels because of its inherent movement system already. Astrobot doesn't have that. Astrobot's movement system is incredibly simple and basic. And like I said in the review, I said it at some other point as well in another video, and maybe even this one, Astrobot's movement, once you've moved around in the starting hub level, you're playing the exact same way up until the end.
It is difficult, It is a difficult...
Yeah, no, it's upsetting me.
It was always going to be difficult at this stage, but Astrobot brings more joy. Celeste brings more sense of accomplishment, like more dopamine.
That's true. He's making a good argument.
Yeah, there's both games. Like I said, I want to stress as much as possible. They are absolute top in their obviously Odyssey's up there as well, but they are top in their genres. They are both 10 out of 10 games, in my opinion. I know Niall disagrees.
Yeah, neither of them are 10 out of 10 for me. I go Celeste 9 and Astrobot 8.5.
Oh, right, fair enough. The issue is I can't find a flaw with either of them, in my opinion. Like everything you said now is valid for you, but it's not valid for me.
I know what I'm gonna get. I'm gonna give my vote now. I know why I'm gonna give it, and it might sound selfish, but I'm gonna give it entirely for this one reason. Seeing all the mascots and old characters that I love from all those PlayStation games that Sony have not cared about or given a shit about for years, put such a big, massive smile on my face. That alone, I'm gonna vote Astrobot. Like, I am. I'm sorry. Combined with everything else, obviously, but that extra factor, I'm going to give it to Astro. I don't want to be the deciding vote or factor either, so I'm doing my vote straight away.
That's so funny. Right, I'm going next. So, I've been a bit quiet because I've just been letting you guys talk. Obviously, you know how I feel about 2D platformers, 3D platformers. I'm always going to choose a 3D platformer out of the two. The thing that's cementing it for me is the biggest smile on my face when I got to that level where you could essentially play Ape Escape. The biggest smile that I had on my face when I was playing that whole level, it just made me want to play Ape Escape again. Like it's bringing back little bits from the old like mascots and stuff. It's remembering PlayStation's history. It's created this new mascot for PlayStation, which is essentially can be the face of any of the mascots because all the bots are all the characters. So it has to be Astrobot.
Even in like the Uncharted level, hearing the music was just I loved the second of it. It was so good. It made me very happy.
Niall, can we assume your vote is for Celeste?
Yes, though I don't think it's going to matter.
No, so I think I kind of want to know what the scores in the spreadsheets are, but I also don't because I feel like this should be decided by us, not by numbers.
No, yeah, for sure. I feel like it should be definitive.
It is difficult, and
that's why I didn't want to go last.
I didn't want to go last either. Actually, I should have gone last because I would have just picked Astrobot anyway.
I was 50-50 up until Lewis's and Alex's arguments there. And they're going to have to go with Astrobot, unfortunately. But I would like to know what would have happened if it was a draw.
So either way, Astrobot would have won by 4 points. Astrobot averaged a 96.25, so a 9.6.